as it does have to do with travel. So we were just talking about traveling, as Ken mentioned before I started recording, that I'm going to the Canary Islands tomorrow. And then we had a nice conversation with Bob about him leaving. And you leave the 15th, right, Bob, of November?
Yes, 15th of November.
Okay. Wasn't it the 25th? Like, wasn't it supposed to be tomorrow?
Yes.
Originally, so at least you're here for a little bit longer. So that's good. Do you have your flights yet?
Yes.
Perfect.
Roma.
You're going to Rome?
Yes, only airport Roma.
Mm-hmm.
Fiumicino, airport Roma, and Lisbon. To Lisbon.
To Lisbon?
Yes, Lisbon, yes. I'm sorry.
You're only like 7 hours away from me then.
Yes. Yes.
Driving, I mean.
Driving.
So, I think the flight from Malaga, of course I'd have to drive an hour in a little bit to get an hour in a little bit flight, but yeah, that's 7 hours driving, so it's pretty close. Well, good. And then, so how long are you in Portugal, in Lisbon, before you start?
No, only when I arrive on the port, taxi wait for me, and I must go to immigration with my passport to sign on in the European Union, and in 1 hour later, I'm on the ship Marco Polo. Marco Polo is in Lisbon, yes. In my language is Lisbon. On Serbia is Lisbon, on English is Lisbon, yes, of course.
Yeah, Lisbon in English, well that's good. And I had another question for you and I can't remember. So
big airport. Lisbon is a big airport.
Is it? I've never actually been to the airport. My uncles, when my family was here a couple weeks ago, or a month ago now, they flew into Lisbon from New York. So it was a big airplane. So perfect. Well, good. Well, we will be enjoying the classes that you're here for now, and then hopefully later, once you establish your life on the boat, maybe you'll have some time for English, or when you finish. So we'll be here. Okay. So first, before we get started, Chen-Hu, hello. I'm sorry we haven't heard your voice yet today.
Yeah, I listen to you talk.
I like to talk.
Yeah.
Good.
I feel very happy. Yeah.
Perfect. That's how we like it. So, so today we're going to be doing the same idea as what we did last time. Now, all three of you were here, so yes, makes my life a little bit easier today. Thank you. I'm deciding on what to do, if I want to review that or not. Actually, I have a better idea. So let me screen share and not. Uh-oh, I don't know if I have this up. I don't, because I had to. Okay, so that's going to be a little bit. Okay, so 1 second here. I just need to get this up because I had to close down my computer because it was slow. And it's still slow. So, okay. Now it's, all right, here we go. I think it was page 13. Yes, London on a shoestring. Okay, good. Now I can share this with everybody. 1 second. Oh, oof, I didn't see the screen share button for a second. Uh-oh. All right, good. So, here we go. London on a shoestring. What does that mean again? London on a shoestring? Who remembers?
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Did everyone forget there was going to be a test today?
Maybe expensive. I'm not sure.
Okay, you're not sure? That's fine. What?
Costly.
Costly, okay. Yeah, a good synonym for expensive.
It's not expensive.
Okay, Bob wins this round.
Yeah, this is cheap.
We're
Yeah.
going to keep track of who. Should I? No, just kidding.
Yes.
English is not a competition, okay? So, London on a shoestring is yes. This is basically trying to go to London, but not have to spend a lot of money, okay? So, in this part, they were talking about the nightlife, culture, entertainment, things to do in this capital city, okay? And they're talking about just going for a weekend. And it says you're a weekend break, you're looking at spending a considerable amount of money. Then, Ken, you would be right in that case, a lot of money. Okay. So before you travel, you have to know, or you should know, if you can afford it or not, if you're able to pay for it or not. Okay. So it says, let's look at some more budget-friendly options of where to stay and what to do in London. Okay. Like I said, this is exactly what we did last time. So I just want to do a quick review before we continue. All right. I'm going to take a poll, a survey here. Would you like to read this again to refresh your memories, or just summarize? So we can summarize or read. Do we have a preference?
Quick reading.
Quick reading, I like that.
Yes, yes. I will be first.
All right, sounds good. Start reading.
Getting here. Usually flights from capital cities into London are relatively affordable and direct. If you are booking in advance, you're probably looking at finding return flights just a little under 100 euros. However, you're coming in from another destination, a coastal town, or somewhere without direct flights into London, then your stopover may well add a lot more onto the journey. You'll be lucky to get a flight for under 150 euros unless you book extremely early.
All right. So very fast. Thank you for reading that, Bob. We had a word stopover in there. What does that mean? Question number 2 of the day.
Yes, stopover. This is a little break on the flights. If you change the flights, you stop over on the Heathrow and next destination maybe Spain, maybe New York, maybe another
Rome.
country. Rome, yes, of course.
Rome could be a good layover. Yes, for example, in your flights to Lisbon, you have a stopover or a layover in Rome.
Yes,
Exactly.
Rome.
So, like it says, basically the idea of this paragraph is buy your flights early.
Yes, of course.
Perfect.
Because my company bought for me 1 month earlier.
Yeah, well, if someone else pays for it, it doesn't really matter. So, good. Ken, did you want to say anything?
Yeah, I want to know what is the difference between onto and into? More onto the journey, more into the journey.
Okay, so what? Okay, I had to think about that. Basically, okay, so when you have a stopover, it adds another thing to your trip. So because you're adding, they say that's one thing on top of another, basically. So if you think of things being stacked or things being put on top of another, it's kind of like a to-do list. You think, oh, I have to do this, I have to do this. You add more things. So it's add a lot more onto the journey.
Yes. Yeah, I got it.
Wow, that was confusing. That was challenging, Ken. Thank you for that. Perfect. So what I think is maybe we will have Chen. Who do you want to read? Accommodation?
Okay. Accommodation. If you do your reaching early, you may be able to find a good deal for something quite central. We are not talking about the areas of St. James and Soho, but somewhere a few more stops on the metro, like Elephant and Castle, for example. If you are willing to use the metro or a bus, then this should be fine for you. And for a one night stay in a run of the mill 3-star hotel, you could pay anything for from 80 euros, 140 euros, depending on the time of year.
Good. So again, kind of the main idea of this paragraph is looking at where you're going to stay and compare that to maybe staying further away and having to take the bus or the metro. Also, you should consider that price of the bus or the metro into your hotel fee. So you can say, well, maybe it's more expensive in the center, but I don't have to spend time on the metro or bus. Okay, so you save time and with the money. Okay, so it's definitely something you should look into if you're on a budget. Right?
Yeah.
Questions or comments about this part?
One question.
Of course.
Like a run of the mill, is the mean like on the airport also have the hotel, cheapest hotel like for the one night? Because depending of your flight, if your flight is delayed or something also wrong, but you stay on the hotel one night on the airport, is this mean a run of the mill?
No, it doesn't.
No.
Does anyone remember what run of the mill means?
I think it's average.
Average. Yes, Ken, that's from yesterday.
Average.
So an average, a normal hotel. Okay, nothing super special, nothing super terrible. It's in the middle.
Okay.
So the hotel at the airport, I think, is just called the hotel at the airport. I don't think we have a really fun name for that. Are you thinking of the runway? Runway is that road that the plane goes on?
Yes, maybe.
Okay, with the airport. I was just trying to think to put myself in your shoes to help me understand a little bit more about that question. So no, it doesn't. But good. Thank you, Ken, for that answer. It means average. Yeah, it's really expensive. I don't know. You don't pay 100 euros a night for a hotel. I guess if you go to London, but all right. Excuse me. So, Ken, I think it's your turn to read transport very quickly. Okay?
Transport. Even for tourists, the public transport is affordable. The London Underground offers something called the Oyster card. You need to pay a £5 refundable deposit once you register, and then all you have to do is top up. Having an Oyster card means you can travel within the Underground system, use the buses and most national rail services in London. Every time you use it for a journey in the Underground, the price works out to about £1.50, by far the cheapest thing in London.
All right, so good. So again, it's saving money. With this Oyster card for transport. It actually wouldn't be a bad idea to get this, especially if you chose a cheaper hotel outside of the city center. That would be a good idea. Does everyone, question number 3, maybe 4 today, top up? What was top up?
Maybe kind of to put the money into the card.
Yes.
Okay, I knew Bob knew that yesterday. Very good.
Yes.
Yep, just basically add more money to the card and you will be able to travel more. Okay? So that's good. Now let's see. Activities. Bob, it's your turn again if we're going in the same circle.
Okay.
So read activities.
Activities. A typical day trip will leave London by bus at around 8 a.m. and get back in at around 3 p.m. There are lots to choose from. Whether you prefer food and wine, culture, history, there is something available starting from around £45. The guided tours around London are of course much cheaper. You can take a river cruise along the River Thames. There are many different packages, the cheapest starting from just £12. It goes without saying that this price doesn't include any extras.
All right, very good. Super fast today. Questions about this? Yes, yesterday. The other day on Monday, we spoke about packages. That's basically different types of trips that include the transportation, the actual trip, the food, or something. All right. Well, we did have the question of what was any extras. What are extras in this case?
Additional.
All right, additional services or something like that.
Yes.
Perfect. Any other questions or comments maybe on this page in this?
Yeah, PP means per person.
Yes.
Per person. Okay.
Yeah, I think I read this one yesterday because I remember this, or Monday, sorry, because I read this. PP. Okay. Good?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, too fast. All right. So Bob just read that one. So Chen Hu, why don't you go ahead and read this part, okay?
Okay. So after reading that, do you think this side of London is affordable for you? And don't forget that you need to add on all those little extras like food, drinks, and souvenirs. Probably best to be feels rich, feels rich before you go touring London, spending money like it's no object. Do you, don't you agree?
All right, so good. So again, souvenirs are those little fun things like keychains and mugs with the name of the place or a T-shirt, something like a little gift from that place. Question number 5 or 6 for today. In the second part where it says probably best to be filthy rich. What is filthy rich?
Very rich.
Extremely rich.
Extremely rich, yes.
That you can take a bath in your money rich.
Rockefeller, New York.
Yeah, exactly. So the question is here, it says, do you think this side of London is affordable for you? I mean, let's think about this. You have your hotel, which is, I'm going to say 100 to 120. That's in the middle of that range that they gave us, euros per night. And then you have to get the Oyster card. And I don't really actually know. I think it's around, I don't know how that works. I mean, I don't know if you have to buy individual little trips. But, Ken, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I heard, the London, in Japan, you kind of, a lot of chain store, cheap restaurant chain store, like B4 stores or, kind of fast food store are available in Tokyo or in Japan. But London, maybe it's difficult to find such a place. I heard maybe going to the pub or restaurant, posh restaurant, maybe pub would be not so expensive, right? I don't know.
Actually, drinks are normally more expensive in those kinds of places.
Maybe going to McDonald's, even if I'm in England. Or fish and chips could be good.
That you could probably find at a reasonable price. But if you think about it too, they use pounds. You have to think of your currency. We all have different currencies.
Right.
Compared to the pound.
Rate is also the problem, right?
Yeah, I don't really know what the pound is these days, but it's more expensive than the euro, and definitely more more expensive obviously than the dollar then too. So you have to think of that as well. If just those prices were in, I guess they were talking about euros for the hotel, so that wouldn't be too bad. And 12 pounds for the activities, £1.50, £5. So it kind of depends. I think this is so much. I hate spending that much for, even 60 euros is enough for me. That's normally about what I pay for the hotel, because later you have to think, they have to pay the staff, the cleaning people, they have to wash the sheets, they have to do a lot of things. And so it does cost a lot of money just for you to stay there.
Right.
But that's so much money.
Hotel prices are same in Japan actually.
Really? I've heard Japan's really expensive.
Yes. So not surprised at hotel price, but I don't know, maybe London is one of the expensive city in the world. Also Tokyo, New York, worst three actually.
Yeah, I actually thought Tokyo was the most expensive.
I don't know currently, but yeah, probably one of the worst. Yeah. And yeah.
Singapore.
Singapore also probably. Yeah.
Paris, Zurich, Hong Kong, Oslo, Geneva, Switzerland, Seoul, Copenhagen. I've heard Denmark is very expensive. Interesting. I'm surprised that New York isn't on here, but it could be the dollar situation. Like I said, the dollar is less than the euro right now, and I guess it's kind of normal, but I don't know. So, is London, to me, this information is not worth it to go to London, in my opinion. So, let's continue on here. Okay, so kind of review again. It says, what do you think the word shoestring means in the title? Chen-Hu, do you remember?
To be expensive.
The opposite. So this is to be cheap. So it's to find the cheaper things in London. Okay.
Okay.
That's fine. What does the word budget mean?
I think you must have enough money. You can go anywhere, but you must pay the money.
Okay, yeah, that's true. That's true. Budget is a little bit different. It has something to do with money. Could anyone else tell me what budget means?
Budget means kind of cost plan of the cost.
All right. Well, and so what's an example of a budget, maybe?
I set budget for going to London.
Okay, exactly. You set a certain amount of money and you say, I'm not going to spend more than this.
Yes.
More or less. Yep. People sometimes have a monthly budget. They say, okay, this is what we have to spend for extras, going out for food, going out for drinks, buying clothes, etc., etc. Some people do that. I don't like limitations. That's not fun. So I don't like to budget. Good. And so this is just part of the example. In this case, break, it says, but if you want to stay here for even just a weekend break, you're looking at spending a considerable amount of money. Break in this example, what does that mean? Night, short holiday, or day?
Short holiday.
Short holiday. Bob, do you agree or disagree?
Maybe night.
Okay, Chen-Hu, what do you think? As we have two different answers now. What do you think the word break means?
Break. Day. I think a day.
All right. All different answers. Uh-oh. And the correct answer is a short holiday.
Yes. Because
Well,
weekend, this is weekend break.
Yep, exactly. So we can't have a weekend night, but you're not going to fly to London just for a night. Even me, who I live 2 hours away. I think it's crazy when people fly to a different country or part of their country and go and come back in one day, like people on business. I think that's crazy. Can't you just Skype or something with that? I mean, come on, that's like wasting a lot of money. Anyway, so good. Let's see here. So break. All right, I want to take a look here. If you want to stay here, just yeah, that's basically it. So now just the situation again where it is. Stopover. Stopover. So let's take a look at this. So it says, where are we? However, if you're coming in from another destination, a coastal town, or somewhere without direct flights into London, then your stopover may well add a lot more onto the journey. Chen-Hu, what do you think? Stay, second hotel, second flight?
The first, I think the stay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of think that's right because it's not a hotel. Now, you will have a second or even third flight depending on how many stopovers you have. But stopover really is the moment that you have to wait and stay in the airport. So I'm going to say you're correct. Do you, Bob or Ken, have any questions or comments?
No.
So stop over for waiting for the different airplane?
Yep, it's waiting for the second or third, for example. It depends how many stopovers you have.
Okay.
All right, good. Let me go down. Oh, yes. What does run-of-the-mill mean? Average. Above average, below average. And here is our sentence. For a one-night stay in a run-of-the-mill 3-star hotel, you can pay anything from 80 euros to 180 or 150 euros, depending on the time of year. Bob, do you remember?
Yes. Below average.
Okay. Ken, do you have an opinion?
Yes, it means average.
Okay, it's just average. So it's just this first one. Because above average, what does that mean?
Very normal.
Very normal. Well, that's what average is, yes. Ken, what do you know about the difference between above average and below average?
As the word says, up and up above average means up more than the average, and below average is less than the average.
Exactly. So we basically have 3 different levels here. We have above average, average, below average, right?
By the way, my friend Pritam came and you
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, thank you for giving me information about the free classes here.
You're welcome.
Yeah, hello, hi, how are you?
I'm the ghost behind the PowerPoint. You can't see me, but I'm here.
Okay, I'm Pritam from India.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, we are welcome.
Great. So we're just talking about some vocabulary that we were looking at earlier. About it. Actually, I'm going to be quiet. Bob, could you please explain to him what our activity was today? What we were doing?
Oh, yes. Hello, Pritam Sain from India. Nice to meet you, Onitenga. And this is second lesson of the journey for the London. We are talking about journey or trip to having time in the capital of England, London.
Yeah.
Exactly. And are we trying to do it on an expensive budget or a very low budget?
Yes,
Low budget, right?
low budget.
Yep. So we're trying to see if it's possible to go to London with the ideas that they have about trying to find cheaper options. And so we're just going through a little test right now about the words that we saw in bold. So we're going to continue this, but then we can take a look at some of the paragraphs. Okay. Let's see. So what does refundable deposit and top up mean? All right. So money you get back, and then put money on something. Money you don't get back and money you put money on something. Limited money or buy a journey. Now, I'm going to read the example sentences and then we can take another little survey or poll to see what you think. So, the example sentences are, you'll need to pay a £5 refundable deposit once you register, and then all you have to do is top up. So, who would like to answer this question? Who thinks they know the correct answer?
The first one is the correct.
Okay, can you say the first one? Bob, what do you think?
Yes, first one.
The first one? Okay, Chen-Hu, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so now we have all the same answer. Pridham, what do you think?
What about what does refundable deposit and top up mean?
Yes.
Is it about that?
Yes. We have the three options here. So far,
Yes,
everyone.
First one.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Well, everyone's correct this time. Good job. Woohoo. All right. I like it when everyone.
Unanimous here. Yeah. I think we are unanimous here. All are agrees here.
Definitely unanimous. So that's perfect. Good job. Everyone was paying attention. So that's important too. All right. So what does the word package mean? All right. We have a deal with things included, a trip, a type of boat. And I'm going to read the sentence again. There are many different packages, the cheapest starting from just £12.
First one.
Bob's is the first one.
Yes, I agree.
Yes, first
Candace,
one. I think
okay.
I agree. Sir.
Thank you. Chen-Hu?
I agree too.
All right. Well, I like that. So it looks like all of these are number one. I think all of them have been the first one so far. All right. That's good. And all right. So souvenir. Who would like to explain what a souvenir is?
Souvenir.
Remember is something. Yeah. Remember. I don't know how to say.
That's okay. Can you think of an example of a souvenir that you have, or that you bought, or someone gave you?
Something make you remember you have you passed. Yeah.
Okay, good. Something to remind you of your past. Good. Anyone have more information?
Kind of for the memory of the travel and people die or some good to the gift to neighbors or kind of friends or yes, that's a souvenir.
All right, perfect. Any other information? No? All right, yes. So both of you are correct. I would say it's an item, an object, something that you bring back from a trip to help you, to help you remember the trip and say, oh, yeah, I bought that in this shop, and that day we did this, and it was a lot of fun. So that's what a souvenir does. Does anyone know where the word comes from?
Sounds like French to me.
Why does it sound French to you?
Because souvenir, souvenir or something.
What?
Souvenir.
Are you
This
speaking French?
yeah, seems like French because English imported a lot of words from French actually. No?
Well, yeah.
Souvenir, 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 or something like that. In French.
I don't speak French. I just speak English with French words. So, yes, this is a French word. And what? The French word, Bob?
Yes, I also think this is French word, souvenir.
Yeah, I don't know why. We've stolen a lot of words from French. So actually, I found a question online, and it says, which word these two, meteor or memento, is something similar to a souvenir? Something that's similar. It's not exactly the same.
Memento, no?
Memento, why?
Because meteor is different, maybe shooting star or something, but memento is a bit sounds like memory.
All right. Thank you. Does anyone agree or disagree with Ken? No?
This is Italian word.
Good question.
Yeah, memento.
It sounds like it, yeah. Well, it's definitely Latin. English. Latin. Did you choose memento to choose language? Choose language. Yeah. Well, it sounds. I don't know. Can I say memento origin? Let's just check this out online quick. Origin, because I have no idea. I think you're right, but it just says it comes from Latin, which was let's see if I can say this. Memenis. I never learned Latin, by the way. Then it changed to memento, which means remember, and then memento said it was used with late Middle English. Prayer of commemoration. Okay, so I don't know. Yes.
Okay.
So
souvenir, this is international word.
yeah, do you
Yes.
use it?
And many language is also in my language, in Serbian, we said souvenir.
You're absolutely right, because in Spanish it's the same.
Yes, of course.
Ken, what about it in Japanese?
Omiyage is pretty different from souvenir.
Okay.
Yes.
Bob, you'll have to remember that and try and ask people.
Yes, of course. Yes.
Even though they're German, right?
I know one word. Oh, not now.
You can't remember, that's okay. Do you know the word souvenir in German?
No.
I don't either. Chen, what about in Chinese?
About Chinese, sorry.
Do you know
I
the
don't
word?
Remember.
That's okay. That's okay. And Pitchum, in your language, which language do you speak actually?
Yes, I speak Hindi. Is my first language.
Okay, perfect. Do you speak other languages as well?
No.
Oh, okay.
I
Just
can
English.
understand and speak a little bit of English, but
Okay. Well, in Hindi,
we call Marika. Marika.
Okay. Doesn't
That's
sound.
things that reminds you of the past, and it's. I think the word means a little bit instinct.
Okay, interesting. Well, that was a little bit fun. I like to discover things, and like Bob said, in a lot of languages we do use souvenir, but look here. Instinct. 50% of us use the word souvenir, and the other 50% don't. So that's perfect. So good. Well, I think that's it. I think this is the last page. I think 23 is the last page. Yep. Done. Okay. That's going to be our next class, actually. I'm going to spill the beans. Spill the beans is a phrase we use. Has anyone heard that before? To spill the beans. Is that is that a new phrase? To spill the beans. Yeah.
Mm, yeah.
Have you heard of it before?
Yes, I think yes. We use Hindi is like we call it beans to add up something again and again.
All right. Well, in this context, to spill the beans is to give you the information, kind of like to tell you not to wait and that. So we'll be looking at this functional language next time on Monday with idioms with as and as. So we will keep that hidden for now. And before we go, as we're talking about traveling, I just like to talk about maybe your favorite trip or something like that with the time we have left. Okay. So who would like to go first? Talk about your favorite trip, where you went, who you were with, and maybe why was your favorite.
I'm kind of interested in ordinary place, ordinary people, and kind of sightseeing spot is attractive, but also I really enjoy the kind of just walking down this ordinary street to feel the atmosphere there.
Perfect. Did you have like the perfect trip one time that you're thinking about right now, or just in general?
Yeah, every time I go somewhere, if I have time, I just walk down the street without nowhere. I'm not
Without any direction.
any
All right.
direction.
Good. That's fantastic. Bob, what about you?
I travel a lot. I have many different kind of travel.
Do you have a
First,
favorite?
yes, Australia.
You were in Australia.
Australia, Sydney is favorite, very nice and very difficult and very interesting. Like one island in the French Polynesia.
Okay.
Tahiti is really very interesting and very nice swimming in
Okay.
French Polynesia, Moorea Island.
Okay.
This is like Hawaii,
Very interesting.
small house on the sea. This is like restaurant, restaurant, and on the aft the end of the restaurant is small beach, and you can swim with little fish and maybe dolphins. But I not
That's before you eat,
swimming
right?
too much because I always thinking about shark. It's
Yeah,
very good.
that's true. You do have to be
And
careful.
for me, this is my favorite trip, favorite
Good.
journey. French Polynesia, yes.
Sounds very interesting. Chenhu, what about you? Do you have a favorite trip in mind or a favorite place? Maybe it's a favorite city?
Yeah, I like trip because I like to with my friend and go to anywhere and can see the uh, I can see many things that before I don't see or I see it on the television. This make me very happy, exciting. It's very interesting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, very good. And Pitcher, we'll go to you. Do you have a favorite trip or something in mind?
Sorry.
I do love going to trips, but I hadn't have chance to go anywhere being a student of science. But I went here in my country is in Kurukshetra. Yeah, I think you may not know about the Kurukshetra. Here's local place, but it is very very famous here because
Mm-hmm.
of the Battle of Mahabharata. It is very famous for Hindus people. That I've been one time there. Mm.
Very nice. Yeah, sometimes I mean there's just different things in your own backyard, we say, something that's so close to you. Um, and it's amazing as well. And I think that's why I love living in Spain, because there's so many things to see, and it's a beautiful country to
Yes,
visit.
we do have famous delicious food like curry, Indian curry, and
Of course, of course.
pulses. Yeah, pulses we call it dal and roti as well.
Exactly, exactly. A little taste of everything in India. Very good. Well, we're coming to the end of the class for today. So, as I said, on Monday we'll be looking at idioms with as, and then on Wednesday it's Halloween. So I'm going to write a little article text about Halloween, and we'll talk about that. So hopefully you'll all come and we can see maybe different aspects of around the world about Halloween, how it's celebrated, that kind of thing. Okay.
Halloween party. We have on Wednesday.
I'll have to dress up. I'll have to find something.
His name is Napkins. What's the name on the, like bowl with
The
dice?
ghost?
Is the
Casper?
ghost for the
Casper?
Halloween party? Halloween party is
The bucket for ice cream for treats.
I think he's been talking about the Halloween party.
Halloween party.
Yeah, wear a mask. You have to wear. We'll have some. I don't know if I have anything. I can find something. So you can dress up, Bob, because we see more of you. You can dress up, okay?
Yes.
Sounds good. Perfect. Well, everyone have a great weekend, and we will see you next week.
Okay. Bye, Becky.
All right. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Yes.
Nice journey on the Canarian island.
Thank you.